I don't know, you know. And the aliens.
They come to abduct us, probe us.
It's the government, it's drones. Nah, man, them is chariots. That's the angels.
Yeah, those are brothers.
Yeah. But our people, they won't believe that until they actually see it. But when they see the chariots they're not gonna be friendly and hi. They're gonna be zapping people, man. You know, but those are times we living in. Esau knows that. Esau, you gotta understand the technology that this devil has. They ain't just got no telescope where they looking out they bedroom window. They got the shit where they can look in the outer space and they see the damn chariots on a HD and shit. You know, they like the little footage that they show us on YouTube and stuff, or the little radar. Esau got the shit where they can see it clear, and that's why they trembling. That's why they're making all these moves now. You know,
let's hoard up all this food.
Yeah.
You know, let's basically let's get our bunkers in order. You know, let's get our spaceships. We got our space force. You know, we got this. We gonna overcome this. And that's the pride that's deceiving him in his own heart.
Yep.
You know, he really think that he has a shot, like he can offset the will of the Most High. And that's the delusion that the Most High put into him. You know? We're gonna stockpile all of the best foods. You know, that's what they're doing, just so that they can hide themselves from the judgment.
I got it. This Second Ezra chapter 13, and
now we're about to get into Yahweh's return. You know?
I start at the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance, looked, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
That man that waxed strong is Yahweh Shai. You know, and then thousands with him are the angels. You know, what's that? Isaiah 31. There's birds fly. You know, so shall the Son of Man when he comes back, man. Coming back in the formation. You know, like a militarized formation. You know, and when you see that, prepare for war, man.
You know how when Jay go to a place or an event, and they go up in there deep. Yep. They got a big ass entourage with them. Like it's just an army of niggas. Like, damn, them niggas is deep. Don't start no smoke with them niggas, man. They gonna fuck up the whole venue.
Yeah.
You know, that's all like in that the music video of 50 Cent in the club. They was actually coming into the club and 50 was in the front, and he had all the goons following him into the club. That was like a formation how they strode up in there. You know, that's how Yahweh Shai is gonna make his grand entrance, man.
Yeah.
He's coming with the father ship, and then you're gonna have all the other ships, you know, right beside him, man.
Remember on that Martin Lawrence, you so crazy when he was talking about Edomites in the store. He said, "Oh, where the toothpaste at?"
Yeah.
And then he said, you know, if it's just one of you, you're like, "Oh, can you spell toothpaste?" And he said, "Can you show us?" Showing that it's a group, and he show you how Edomite humbles down. Oh, I'll show you where it's at. That's how these Edomites are gonna be. They're gonna humble down at that moment. These proud ass devils that you see that turn their nose up at the prophets, turn your nose up at you regular jakes, they're gonna humble down. They scripture say every knee shall bow. You know? They're not gonna be they don't bow at these fighter jets and stealth bombers and shit. That's nothing. When that father ship, Yahweh Shai and the angels come back, they gonna bow with their heads down. They gonna be afraid to look up because of the power. Go back in this verse.
It says that I think it was in Matthew, or it might have been Luke 21, where Yahweh Shai said that men's hearts are gonna fail them for fear. And witnessing the things that are coming upon the earth. It's gonna be like when a blast goes off, but you wasn't given warning that shit was gonna go off. So when it happens, immediately your heart jumps, you immediately like, oh, you know. But that's how the people are gonna be when the Lord shows up with the angels, man.
You know how they have the sonic boom when it cracks? Yeah. Imagine when that chariot cracks that inside the what do you call it? The atmosphere.
Yes. That's it. The wind and the waves war, right?
Yeah. I'll read it again.
Yeah, it's gonna cause those waves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's gonna cause those currents to start acting up, and that's when the waters. It's gonna start forming tsunamis. It's gonna be, you know, devastating, you know, parts of the land, man.
It's gonna throw off the
coast, all the different coasts.
Well,
gonna get covered in water, man.
Independence Day, the movie, came out in '95. When the chariots, you know, broke the atmosphere, the whole earth was shaking. You know, it was earthquakes. You know?
And you know when you mentioned that movie, you know, I watched it like maybe a few months ago, and they said something in there that caught my attention where it shows you that Esau didn't know about the chariots because the news reporter said, oh, this aerial phenomenon. And then back in '95, so what do they call them now?
Yeah.
They were calling them UFO for so long, but now they're calling them, what is it? Unidentified, what is it?
Aerial
Phenomenons. So they used that word way back then. Yeah. But they were using the word phenomenons back in '95, so this devil knows. I'll read that verse. Verse 2 Ezra 13:2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Yep. So when the Lord cracked the skies with the angels, all the inhabitants of the earth gonna tremble, gonna be afraid, man. You know? And you know, the Christians call it Jesus' second coming. You know, when the Lord comes back, that's what we're reading right now, man. His name is Yahushua.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire.
Those chariots are weaponized, man, with lasers, with concentrated laser fire, man. So when the Lord comes back with his angels, he's gonna be zapping people, man. You know, like the movie War of the Worlds, you know, these different so-called alien movies that come out, you know, zapping people, you know. Go ahead.
Second Ezra, chapter 16, and verse 10. It says, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence?
That's what them lasers gonna do, man. Them lasers are so hot, it'll devaporize your whole body, man.
Kind.
Yeah.
You know?
It can vaporize a whole damn building.
You know?
They turn that shit into powder.
Burn all your organs up with your body, with the water of your body and shit, man. You just turn into powder. Oof.
Oh, real quick, one more verse. It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. So it's going to cause tsunamis all over the place. Earthquakes. The whole earth is going to roll to and fro like a drunkard, man.
And that's just the presence of the Lord coming in
at his presence.
At his presence.
Shit is going to be collapsing, you know.
And he ain't even got busy yet. He just came to the party. He just walked in, and then shit's gonna just
react,
man.
It's just gonna react, man.
That's the presence of the Lord, bro.
Yeah. If I can, one more. This is in Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, at verse 21. It says, I'll start at 20. It says, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with them against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out as a stone bow, and with the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty.
Hey, the Lord's coming back to bring judgment, man.
Yeah.
That's the wrath of the Lord, man. You know, concentrated laser fire, zapping people, you know, to powder. You know, that's gonna be in the time of the MOB. You know, so the angels see, you know, our people that has the MOB up in them, they get zapped. The Lord is coming back to do two things: bring a sword and also save you. You know, deliver. That's why his name is Yahweh Shai. He's deliverer. He is the deliverer. All right, and he's going to deliver the elect, the 144,000 and the 1/3, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that repented. All right.
This is back in 2nd Ezra 13:5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
All right, so that's going to be in the midst of World War III. All right, and so all these nations that's fighting in the Middle East amongst each other, you know, they're gonna turn their sights, you know, they're gonna turn their power, their military power, towards the Lord and the angels, man. All right.
But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
So this chariot is big as a mountain, man.
Like mountain range.
Big ass mountain range, man. What's the biggest mountain range? Like Mount Everest or something like Mount Kilimanjaro. You know, all that mountain range, and then that's how big the chariot is gonna be. You know, father shit.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
These mere mortals, you know, these military men, they're gonna be afraid to fight the Lord, man. You know, and hey, they gotta fight the Lord, because the Lord is coming to basically change their whole way of life, man. You know, so the way of life that you know it, the society as you know it as today, the Lord is coming to change that, to destroy all that, you know, and establish His kingdom, man. All right, under the guise of the law, statute, commandments, man. You know?
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Yep. The chariots are not made of flesh; it's made of spirit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you don't need no oil change for a chariot, man. You don't need to put pt8 gas in the chariot. You know, it works off all the spirit, man. Spiritual, man.
Yep. Yeah, the Lord's going to use celestial technology.
Yeah, that's right.
You know? And their technology, like that one guy said, he said their technology is 100 to 1,000 years advanced than our technology.
Yep.
You know?
Hey, and saying 100, that's still Esau being prideful as shit, bro.
Yeah. 100,000 years, Esau couldn't come up with the technology of the Lord. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Yep. It's like that movie Independence Day. Came, the orifice of the chariot, shot down a beam of light, then a big explosion happened. Yeah. You know, that's where they get it from. 2nd Ezra 13. They got that whole movie, that whole scene from the scriptures, man. You know?
Yep. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing